Hello and welcome to White Men Can't Pod. It's episode 36. We are talking about Rocky. I'm your host, Ryan. I'm here with my two Adrians, Bill and Wally.
I'm the end Adrian. He's the pet shop Adrian.
Oh, come on.
He hasn't been glowed up yet.
Not yet.
I'm not
He is
pet
wearing
shop
he's
Adrian.
currently wearing glasses, so
That is
that's
true.
strike against you.
I take them off and...
Oh, don't tease me.
Wait, no, I can't see.
Oh, okay. All right, we're doing Rocky. Wally, it's you, right?
It
doing
is
Rocky?
me. It would have been smart of me to, pull up the IMDb page before.
Well, pull it up. Tagline, a
working
small-time Philadelphia boxer gets a supremely rare chance to fight the world heavyweight champion in a bout in which he strives to go the distance for his self-respect.
How'd you
What?
first see it?
Yeah. Seen bits. I've never seen this movie all the way through, which
It's
is weird because I
interesting.
love Rocky and I've seen a lot of them.
Like ever?
I had not seen the full movie all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces, but not the whole thing. The fight, I've seen a lot of the fight because the way that these movies used to play on like AMC is they would play like four of them back to back to back.
Yep.
So you would catch like maybe the last fight, or I famously remember always catching the part where they like go to box and it freeze frames. Is that?
That's
Oh,
the
that's
end
two.
of
Three?
two
Two.
and the beginning of three.
It's
so
the
you
end.
can see it in two
It's the end of
Yep.
3, beginning of 4, right?
No, end
No,
of...
end of two, beginning of
Oh.
three. Right?
I think it's the end of 3, beginning
No,
of
yeah,
4.
because they fight in two, so there's no
They fight
reason...
again.
Oh, yeah,
in
you're
two.
right. It is the...
Yeah, so yeah,
But
end of 3,
Constantly,
beginning of 4.
I remember
yeah.
seeing that ding, ding, and then we go right into 4, which is just awesome. But
Um,
how did you guys first see
Oh, Jesus
Rocky?
Christ. I for sure have seen it all the way through before this.
Okay.
It was most likely the full viewing was probably through Netflix through the mail.
Mm.
Like there was a year or two that I didn't have internet, so I would just get Netflix through the mail as quick as possible every time.
Okay.
I have two answers, and I'm not sure which one is more accurate.
Why do you have 2 answers to the one question?
Yeah.
Because I don't know which one's more accurate.
Okay.
The first one is that I don't have a specific time frame. Like you guys have just seen it in pieces over the years. It's always on TV. People
Right.
would have it on the background. The other possible answer is the first time I saw this movie is last week.
When you watched it,
Because there were parts of this movie I have not ever seen once in my life.
I've definitely seen it
Yeah.
all.
The
right,
fight at the end, I've seen 100
Oh, yeah.
times.
Yep.
The first fight against Spider Rico,
Never
Don't
seen it.
remember
I have
that,
not
yeah.
ever seen in my life.
I don't
The
remember
part
that.
where he hangs out with the a cappella group on the
Yep.
step there,
Yep.
I have never seen that in my life.
He talks to the
The
one girl
part where
about-
he goes into the pet shop store and gets weird, real weird, and then the other
The
lady
first
has to
time?
come out. Yeah.
Okay.
And the other lady has to come out and be like, "Hey, Adrian, go downstairs."
Yeah.
I have never seen that before in my life.
Yeah, so I've remembered, like, I thought the singing with the acapella group, I thought that was part of the credits,
Like
that
the
was my
opening
that was
sequence or whatever.
my recollection of it, but no, I've definitely seen this movie all the way through. So.
Okay. So you're the expert here.
Yeah.
It's our first Oscar winner.
Yes, it is.
Screenplay, right?
Best Picture, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Best Picture actually. Yeah,
Best
that's
Picture.
different.
because it's
Screenplay,
the
isn't it?
only one. I think it's the only movie that we can say was the Best Picture that we can review for this show.
It's
don't-
the only sports movie that won Best Picture.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
It always boggles my mind too that this was written by Stallone.
Yeah.
Like the dude wrote this. Like
Which
he
is
just seems like a
incredible.
meathead idiot
It's incredible.
and
He-
mushmouth. But
did he write the sequels? Did he write any of the sequels?
I'm sure he was
I think
a
he
part of
did.
it,
I
at
think
least.
he's written way more movies than you think.
I
pretty sure.
read leading into this that the reason that he is not only the writer but also the star of it is he like wrote the screenplay and was trying to sell it around
Yeah.
and like attached himself to it. Like, I will sell this to you,
But I gotta play it.
I'm playing Rocky.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, you ready for the box office game?
Yeah. let's
Yeah.
do it.
Should be
So
interesting.
for the budget, what do you guys think this the estimated budget was?
$2 million.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be low. 500,000.
Oh, Ryan, you win.
Wow.
Because
I
it
almost
was
said something like that.
estimated 960,000.
And this is
Oh.
when 1976.
Yep.
Wow.
How much did this gross U.S. and Canada? I'm sorry, Worldwide. We'll go
Must have
worldwide.
been really good, right?
And won an Oscar,
It's
but
an
that
Oscar
doesn't necessarily
winner.
mean anything, as we.
No, it
whatever,
doesn't. Hmm.
80 million.
Okay.
50 million.
Bill, you're correct. It was
Excellent.
117,250,587.
That's a lot of fucking money.
That's a big turnaround.
That
in less
is-
than $1 million.
What, over 100 times
Yeah.
profit?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. We've had movies that were barely 2 times profit.
Some that were not.
Yeah.
All right.
This is over 100 times. That's amazing.
That's amazing. Here's the list of Stallone's writing credits. Just writing, nothing else.
Okay.
Rocky 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Who
wrote 4?
Rambo 1, 2, 3. I'm just
Okay.
going in order. Rocky 4.
Oh, okay.
Rambo. Cobra. Over the Top.
Of course.
Rambo 3. Rocky 5. Cliffhanger.
Sure.
I'm skipping some of the ones that aren't as good. Expendables. The first Expendables.
I could see
you wrote
that.
that.
Yeah.
Expendables 2.
Isn't there a
Expendables
new
3.
one about to come out?
There's at least a
Yes.
third.
There's another one coming out. And those are the main ones. He gets writing credits on lots of other things that he was like characters based on, but he wrote all those fucking movies,
Now-
which is insane.
Well, I'm wondering how much of the movie he actually wrote, or it's more like, oh, well, you wrote the first one, so we got to give you a writing credit on this one. Like, was the screenplay all him? Were there other people?
For Rocky, it's all him.
Right.
He's no
but,
one
like,
else's name.
The sequels.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to dig deeper, but he's heavily involved in all the movies that he's in. So
All right, let's delete this thing. And we're going to go right into the eBay war.
Oh, all right.
Oh, okay.
All
Oh, okay.
right, there it is. It's in the chat.
I don't
Or
see
in
it. Oh,
the-
there it is.
There it is.
eBay Wars entered the chat.
Yep. I will give you. All right. This is a Rocky 1976 Orange one sheet movie poster, 27 inches by 41 inches.
Okay.
It says F minus. Don't know why. Rare style B Stallone / Weathers. That's the title.
Okay.
Okay.
The description of it. This is an original folded theater issued one sheet movie poster, 27 inches by 41 inches, for the classic 1976 Sylvester Stallone film Rocky. This is the rarer style B version of the poster, issued to the movie theaters after the film won several Academy Awards. This original 1976 poster is in nice condition with some edge, fold seam, and handling wear, some minor center fold seam separation and wear at the cross folds, some minor edge and corner dings and bends, some light border edge fading, bleed through writing from the rear at the upper middle border area, tack holes with pulls at all 4 corners, and paper loss from tack pulls at the upper left corner, lower left corner, and the middle left border edge. Overall, this poster is very nice with fantastic images and graphics and bright, crisp colors. I would grade this poster a 6 on a 1 to 10 scale, with a 10 being in true mint state condition. We have included a lot of pictures so you can see the poster's condition for yourself. This poster will be shipped folded flat and secured between heavy cardboard for protection. Thank you for looking, and please visit our eBay store to see many more wonderful movie posters and other unique collectibles. So they used the wrong 2 a couple times, and it threw me off every single
okay.
time.
Now the colors that he speaks of, he means the Oscar award, I assume, because the rest appears to be black and white to me.
Yes, it does look like that. What do you mean by the colors he
He
mentions?
says like the great colors or something like that in the description
Oh, let me. I'll keep looking through it.
towards the end.
Is that really going to change your bid here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'm the one who wins this game, so
Are you the winner of this game? I don't remember.
yeah, I'm the winner of this game.
Let me.
I'm
oh,
always
shoot,
the winner
I
of
don't
this
have
game.
that up either.
Wally has those stats. I don't know
I'm
if
ahead
you
of
are.
both of you. I don't
I
know what the score is.
Believe no, I thought Ryan was ahead of
I
you.
don't think he is. Well, you're the
I
stat
know,
guy
I'm-
in this.
I'm
You
waiting for
believe?
it to
You
load.
believe that he's saying the truth here?
I'm waiting for it to load.
Okay.
I always
You're always
do.
telling
I
the truth.
lie or do I just expose the truth?
What? So
That's
let's
what's his
see.
name. That's Rollins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it saying
Oh, you guys are tied 5-5, and Ryan was the one who had the last lead at 5-4. So Ryan, you have to go first.
all right.
No, so I'm winning. You're a fucking liar.
No, we're tied,
We're-
and I get to go second, so I'm about to be winning.
Oh my god.
Unless they pull a Wally here, and you say like 50 cents, and I go,
49
35 cents.
$1.99.99.
Okay.
$19.
Well, Ryan, you pull ahead again.
Wow.
You want to take second guesses?
So it's a lot more.
I would say a bit more, yeah.
$300.
$301. No, $500.
So it is $420.
Oh, that's a fun number.
Yes.
Not worth it.
Yes.
It's not a sexy number. I wanted to say sexy. It is
Sounds like a
sexy.
sexy
420
number.
is sexy.
You can have it for 12 months with PayPal credit
I
of
get that it's old.
$35.72.
$420 for
When you
a
say it that way,
folded, bent-up picture.
I mean,
it's a classic
it's
old poster.
from the 1976. It's from
How many
that year.
1976 posters exist still?
yeah. All right, you ready for the recap?
Let's jump in.
All right.
Okay, so we start with it is November 25th, 1975, and Rocky is boxing in the ring, and he looks to be getting his ass kicked. He just continues to try to tie the guy up every chance he gets. He seems to be using his face to block the other guy's punches.
And he does not play defense.
In between the rounds, his trainer tries to talk to him in the corner, but he mostly ignores him. He is a southpaw. You can see right away that he is he's
Better.
favoring with his left hand back.
God, stop popping your peas.
Penis.
It's a
His opponent, Spider Rico.
Spider Rico.
Spider Rico.
Rico.
Yep.
Who
Gives
find
him
out
a-
later is real old.
Gives him a headbutt.
No good.
And Rocky then goes berserk on him, starts beating him down, and he wins the fight.
Yeah, it seems like he could have won this a lot easier, but he wanted to get punched in the face. Or
I
he just
mean-
needed to be better motivated. I'm not sure, but
I think he needed to toughen his face up a little bit
yeah.
for his future fights.
I like how he keeps talking about how he's too pretty. I've never broken my nose. I'm
Never
pretty.
broke my nose,
I'm
dude.
too
Yeah.
pretty.
Never broke my nose.
So after the fight, he bums of smoke from a guy in the crowd, and then some lady literally just calls him a bum to his face. She's like, "You're a bum. You're a bum."
He looks like a bum for 90% of this movie.
Yep.
We go a long way with Rocky.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got robots and all kinds of shit.
We do.
Real soon.
He also is big and obviously strong in this, but he's not like cut up in this movie.
No, he looks more normal.
So he's back in the locker room with Spider, and they both get paid by the promoter. Rocky wants to know when he can fight again, and the promoter says, maybe 2 weeks.
That's kind of a devastating moment there, though. Like,
Yeah.
it's good. It's like you get
You get
you get $40, but we're charging you for a shower and a corner
towel.
man
Yeah.
and a towel, and so he actually only gets $17.
Yep, Spider, the loser, only gets 17, and then Rocky, the winner, only got 45, I think
Yeah,
it
you're
was.
fucking face beat in for
Yeah.
$17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's walking down the street. He stops to look in the pet store window at the dogs, and then he keeps walking. He stops for a swig of what looks to be champagne or wine at a trash campfire with the
Bubble.
a cappella group. Keeps going.
The city of Philadelphia.
I assume it's Wild Irish Rose.
What?
I assume that it was Wild Irish Rose. I could be mistaken. I'm not an expert on bum wines.
So he gets home to his small, crappy apartment, and he starts talking to his turtles and his goldfish.
Seems
I like that he's
you.
got 2 turtles.
You're a turtle
Yeah.
guy.
Cuff and Link. It's fucking great.
Dumb names.
Yeah. But it's fucking great that he's got turtles, so.
Yeah.
So
There was a question
What?
that I wanted to ask you specifically about Mervyn based on this movie, but I
About
can't remember it
turtles?
now.
Okay.
It was he said something to the turtles, and I was gonna ask if you felt the same way, but I don't remember what it was.
Do you talk to Mervyn?
No, not really.
You don't talk
Though-
to your pet?
The
Do you have a
tank
goldfish
that,
friend
The
for him?
tank that he has these 2 turtles in is so small.
Yep.
It is ridiculous. My turtle has a 40-gallon tank just for him. These guys were in probably a 5-gallon tank for the two of them. Like,
How old is Mervin now?
he is gonna be 30 on Wednesday.
30
So he's hit like
years
his
old.
quarter life crisis.
Yeah. No. He's very close to the end. The average age or the average lifespan for his species is 30 to 40 years.
Okay.
So within the next couple years.
So he's an old guy now.
Yeah. And then I've actually toyed around with the idea of getting another turtle
Yeah.
and just having 2 animals for my entire life.
That's it.
These are my 2 animals. That's it. Mervin and Mervin
I was
Jr.
gonna say Mervin and Mervin too.
Mervin 2. Electric Boogaloo.
All right, so then he looks in the mirror, starts talking to himself in the mirror like he's practicing some speech about his turtle food. But he gets distracted by a picture of himself in the mirror when he was young, grabs some ice, lays down, and he ices his forehead. The next morning, he goes to the pet store and he tries to talk to Adrian, but she's very, very shy.
This
And-
is so awkward all around.
Yep.
So
I
weird.
don't like either one of them at this point.
In my notes, I go, he's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
practiced his conversation with her.
Yep.
He apparently always has a new joke for her,
Yep.
but she doesn't
Interact with him.
she doesn't, and it's
She
not even
says
like
nothing.
she's cold shouldering him. She just pretends he's not there.
Yeah.
But I don't get the feeling it's out of I don't want to talk to him. It's like I don't know what to do when any human being
Yeah.
acknowledges that I exist.
Yeah. Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, that's who they have.
Damn.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh,
That's why Hal's the starter.
So Adrian's boss comes out and she tells Adrian to go downstairs to clean the cat cages, and as soon as she goes down there, Rocky leaves. So he's clearly only there to try to talk to her. He then goes down to the docks, and he shakes down a guy for his boss. He's supposed to get 200 from the guy, but he only gets 130. And then he goes and meets up with Mr. Gazzo, his boss, I don't know.
The mob boss.
yeah, mob boss or bookie, and he's just like the strong
Yeah,
man.
he seems
the
like a
tough
low
guy.
level
Yeah,
boss figure.
enforcer, collector.
Yeah.
So he talks to Gazzo. He gets an assignment for the next day, who he's supposed to go rough up. And then Gazzo's mad that Rocky didn't break the guy's thumbs. And Rocky's like, "Oh, I was figuring." And Gazzo's like, well, don't do the figuring. I'll do the figuring. I'm the one with the brain.
Which does not insult, or at least Rocky doesn't seem as though it's an insult.
No, because
But he makes a good point. He's like, if this guy owes you money and I break both of his thumbs, he can't work.
Yeah.
And he can't pay you back.
Yeah. So then Rocky then goes to the boxing gym. He tries to get in his locker, but it's not opening up. So he breaks the lock looking for his stuff, and it's not his stuff in that locker anymore. His stuff got bagged up because Mickey's kicking him out of his locker. So Rocky's like, all right, I'm going to go talk to Mickey. And Mickey tells him he needs Rocky's locker for a new up-and-comer. He basically calls Rocky a bum himself.
Yeah, Mick is not the Mickey that I remember either.
Yeah, he's
He's a real jerk in this. Even
Real
though even
jerk,
when
real
he's
hard
at the end,
ass.
he's a jerk.
yeah.
And I totally forgot he's the Penguin in the old Batman.
Is he?
Burgess Meredith is the Penguin.
I don't know.
In the
Yeah.
Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
So-
you just go to the 60s Batman?
No, to them dumping garlic sauce all over every inch of this pizza.
Yeah,
That's-
No,
that's-
I like
that's
garlic
it.
sauce pizza.
Not this much.
That's
Not the way they're dumping it on everything.
That because it's got like a garlic crust with cheese in the side, and then you're dumping. Oh yeah.
This
No.
podcast
he
is brought
called
to you
it
by
Oh my Jesus.
Papa
Christ.
John's.
Not
Was it
good.
Papa- oh, it
Not
was
good
Papa
pizza.
John's.
Papa John's.
Do we even have a Papa John's?
No, they all
We
closed.
used to. They all closed, I think.
All right.
Bob briefly delivered for Papa John's, but I think that was in Syracuse.
Put that down on your Bob cards, ladies and gentlemen.
If you're playing bingo at
If
home,
you're playing
there's-
Bob Bingo at home, that's a Bob reference.
He delivered for Papa John's.
We get a Bob reference once every 16 episodes. So
Yeah.
Well, there it
just
is.
buckle up for another one.
So then Rocky leaves and he goes to the pet store again and he talks to Adrian again, who says literally nothing. She does not say a word to him
It's awkward.
until he says, "All right, I'm going to get going." Or no, she says one thing to him. He asks her, "Can I walk you home?" And she goes, "No." And then he goes, well, there's a lot of creepy people out there. Like, all right. And then he says, all right, I'll leave you. And she goes, goodbye. Those are her 2 words that she says in that scene.
Clearly not interested, but
He talks
continues.
the entire fucking scene.
Yeah.
Never shuts up.
Nope.
Another joke for you. Hey, remember when you sold me a turtle?
Rocky talks her ear off about nothing, and he's a fucking weirdo. See, I said it again. He asks her if he wants her to walk out. She says no, so he leaves. Rocky then goes to the bar, and he's looking for Paulie, and Paulie ends up being Adrian's sister. And he talks to Paulie about, hey, why isn't she, like, what's up with her? Like, why isn't she giving me the time of day kind of thing? And Paulie's a dick and says that she's an idiot. Why do you want to mess around with her?
She's not worth it.
Yeah.
She's
not
a
worth it.
loser.
She's a loser.
Leave my sister alone. She's not interested.
Yeah.
Like, you're too good for her, Rocky. My
Yeah.
sister's a loser.
Yeah.
Damn.
So Rocky then goes and sits out in the bar, and Paulie asks him about getting him in with Gazzo, that because he doesn't like his job in the meat packing, whatever he does. But Rocky kind of skates over it, past it, and then he goes and sits at the bar. He watches Apollo Creed on the TV. The bartender kind of makes fun of Apollo, says, where are all the real fighters? And Rocky's like, no, this guy's the greatest.
world
He's the
champ.
best. He's the champ. So he leaves. And then we get another weird scene where he's talking to this young girl who's hanging out with her friends.
Okay.
This
was
I have
bizarre.
misread
Her
this one.
creepy, like, they're not really her friends. They're just, like, boys her age that
No, they're
she's
older.
hanging out with her. Okay,
I
they're
get
probably...
the feeling they're older.
All right. They're not old enough to buy their own alcohol, though, because they want him to buy
Right.
their
Right.
alcohol.
Right.
So he pulls her away and he starts walking her home. He says something about knowing her sister. He just said, hey, does your sister know?
He's a man of the people. He's a friend to everybody in the neighborhood,
everybody
even though he
knows him.
looks weird.
Yeah. And he probably breaks their thumbs every once in a while. Like, they're still friends with you? Okay. So he starts walking her away. He gives her a lecture on the walk home about getting a bad rep and how it's going to stick with her. And people will remember her they won't remember who she is, but they'll remember who she was, like her rep. Oh, she was a whore.
He does like like that part where he's like, "I'm sorry I have to say this, but like,
Yeah. Excuse
people
my
will
language,
call
but
you a whore."
Yeah. The other thing is, I like that he called them. He tells them not to hang out with coconuts and lemons. So he's calling those people coconuts and then lemons within like 2 seconds of each other.
This was like, I liked him dragging her away and be like, don't hang out here.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of like, you got to like kind of watch out for yourself.
Yeah.
But the way he does it is so weird. And at one point, it's like, you are the creeper that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You are the person you're describing.
But then he says that when doesn't he say that when she walks in? He's like, "I'm a creep."
Yeah. So she gets home and she's like, "Hey, Rocky, you screw you, creepo." And she goes inside and he goes, "Well, yeah, like who am I to give
I guess I am a creep.
He calls himself a creep and he says, "Who am I to give like anybody advice?" So he knows he's a weirdo at least, but. And then we finally meet Apollo Creed, like in person, not just on the television. And he's talking to his promoter for his next fight. And the promoter tells him, your opponent broke his hand. He can't fight. And I got no contenders. I got nobody, like number 2, number 3. There's
nobody in
around.
Philadelphia.
Nobody's in Philly. They're not around. Anybody who is around, they say 5 weeks isn't enough because it's only 5 weeks away from the fight. Because are they fighting on January 1st?
It's a bicentennial fight. It's for the bicentennial of America.
But not on the 4th of July.
Yes.
On New Year's Day.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just because it's the turn of the year. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
So anyways, Apollo wants a real contender, and the promoter says he's got nobody for him. So instead, Apollo comes up with this idea. All right, well, give me a local boy. We'll give him a shot.
There's a
at the
real
belt."
problem in this movie right now. It
Okay.
doesn't play itself out till later.
Okay.
But this part where there's no one to fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some other guy went out.
There's
to
people that are
California
available,
and
but
got
they
fat.
need to train in time to make the fight.
Yeah, he does say a lot of people say like it's not enough time for a fight.
But so Apollo's like, all right, well, what's the American dream? Is anybody can do anything that they want. We'll give a local fighter his shot at the belt, and we'll make it seem like it's the American dream.
Apollo's always promoting.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's his biggest skill other than boxing.
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
Although he's undefeated at this point, so he is a good boxer. But
And nobody's gone the distance with him.
yeah,
Yeah, he's knocked them all out. So next day, Rocky gets his assignment from Gazzo about who he's got to shake down. And then Gazzo talks to him about his date with Adrian, who he knows about it. Does she know about it yet?
No.
She
doesn't.
It doesn't
She
seem
does
that
not.
way.
Then he gives him he gives him $50 for the date with Adrian. So
Yeah, I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop with this mob guy. Like,
Never does.
I gave you some money. Maybe he's just a nice mob guy.
I'm curious if anything happens in the second movie. I don't think it does.
I don't know.
I don't
We watch
remember.
the second
I don't
movie
remember
in
that
a
happening.
couple years
Yeah.
when we get back around to Rocky. I mean, we'll find out.
Maybe something. Maybe
Oh yeah,
in
they
like
got Beckham
the
now.
fifth movie, the Tommy Gunn. Maybe he's back in that, and like,
I don't know.
hey, remember?
It's weird because
it's my new guy. I took care of you all those years.
he could, but I feel like he's pretty nice to Rocky. in
He's
this movie.
super nice
Yeah.
to Rocky.
Like, he gives him money later just to like help with training.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He doesn't expect anything back. He's just
it's
like,
like
here you
in
go.
what was the Talladega Nights? I want to be a nice crack dealer. Like, hey, guys,
Yeah.
want some crack? This is a nice bookie.
I'm gonna become a nice.
Okay, you need a little extra money. All right, I'll give you some money.
yeah.
I'll break his hands and I'll give you the money.
So we go back to Creed, and it looks like he's just looking through a phone book, honestly, but it's like a book of fighters. And he lands on Rocky because his nickname is the Italian Stallion.
Yeah, he basically
He's just-
says, "I can promote this.
Yep. This is the name's all that matter. It doesn't matter if this
It
guy's a
rhymes, and
bum.
everyone wants to see an Italian stallion get beat up." Italian
America was
G-Stallions.
founded
I'd like to
by
see an Italian
Italians.
G-Stallion get beat up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, we love seeing
Too bad
Italian
he doesn't
G-Stallion.
listen.
Yeah,
Too bad he's dead.
He's not.
He
listening.
doesn't listen.
He's
He's
a
just
ghost.
a ghost.
He's a ghost. So he lands on Rocky because of the nickname. And then we go see Paulie. He wants to get a job with Gazzo, and Rocky keeps changing the conversation as they're walking back to Paulie's place. They walk past the kid. Rocky walked home the other night, and he just ignores her because she's with those guys again. So he's like, whatever.
Oh, I don't think I realized that was her.
Yeah. Rocky asks a few times if Adrian knows that he's coming over. And Paulie's like, yeah, she knows. But she does not know.
Nope, she's horrified when he
No.
walks in. Absolutely horrified.
Yep. So they walk in, and she's horrified, as Bill said. And she's like, I don't want to go out. She goes and locks herself in a room. And then Paulie basically rips her door down and throws the turkey out the window because she said that I'm cooking the turkey. He's like, well, here's the turkey, and it's out
Nope.
the door. Now get out
This
there
is
and eat
on
it.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, on Thanksgiving.
Where are you going to go on a date, period, on Thanksgiving?
Also, you, Paulie, now have no dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he did make sure to save one leg.
Yeah, he saved a leg.
No doubt, as soon as they leave, he goes outside and retrieves his turkey.
I just remember
No
Paulie,
doubt.
Paulie being super goofy and weird in the other movies. Not like a massive dick.
Yeah, he's awful in this.
Yeah, there was always that underlying massive dick to him.
Yeah, but
always.
it's not
scheming for
underlying
him.
in this movie.
It was, and it was always scheming for him. How can I get? Yeah.
Yeah.
In this, it's like super out in the open. Yeah. So she goes back into her room, and Rocky talks to Paul. He's like, "Hey, maybe I should forget about it. It's awkward as hell now." Paulie's like, "No, go talk to her. Get her out of my house." So he goes and talks to her. He talks to her through the door.
Hey, yo, Adrian.
Now,
Date?
Yo,
he does an
date?
okay job of talking to a girl who wants nothing to do with him
Yeah.
through a door. I'll give him that much. Like, he gets her to come out, and she's wearing her coat when she comes out. So they go for a walk and end up at an ice skating rink. He talks to the rink manager and he talks him into letting them skate for a little bit. He only gets skates for her. He walks / jogs next to her on the ice. And all they do is they talk about boxing. He shows the rink manager every minute is like 7 minutes left, 6 minutes left, 4 minutes.
At first, I was like, I like the idea of, especially if you know the guy,
Yeah.
a la Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
But this, when the guy was like, buddy, it's Thanksgiving. I want to go home.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go home.
Hey, she's sick. The doctor says she's sick. She gotta get out and exercise. He blames it on her for
And also, he took her to an ice skating rink, and he doesn't know how to ice skate.
It doesn't look like she knows how to ice skate really either.
She looks as though she's been on them before.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I guess.
But
So-
not often.
So he seems to be talking super fast, and every time the rink manager says something, he talks even faster. Like, oh, I gotta get all this in 10 minutes because I only got 10 minutes. Shows her some pictures of him fighting. They bond over their parents being mean to him because his dad's like, you ain't the smartest kid, so you gotta use your body. And she laughs and he goes, oh, what's the laugh for? And she goes, well, my mom used to say the same thing. You don't have the body, so you better use your brain.
Yep.
She does have a personality.
A little
Kind
bit.
of.
It's coming through now. It's coming out a little bit. He's still dominating the conversation, though. Time's up on the rink, so they start walking outside again. And obviously, they wind up back at his place.
Which he has to force her into his place.
I
which
didn't
is
love him getting her there,
weird.
but then it gets very uncomfortable once
Yes.
they're in.
I do like but while they're still outside, he says the line, you got to be a moron to want to be a fighter.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. And you just called yourself a moron, so yes. Then he invites her inside, and she says no, quite a few times.
She says, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
should be enough.
Yep.
Ugh.
She goes inside anyways. He immediately strips down to just his undershirt
Yep.
and his pants, and talks to her about the turtles that she sold to him.
He's like, yeah, you remember? And she actually says, like, yeah, I
Yes.
remember. I sold them to you.
Yes. Yeah, and then I bought the tank with the
food?
marbles and
You
the
gave me
food.
the food?
And I had that little hill, but I got to get rid of it. It kept flipping over. Like, dude, she knows everything she sold you. Like, then he sits on the couch, his gross ass looking couch, and he invites her to come sit over.
What? It's a
Come over.
nice couch.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's not. I don't know. So she says, no, I'm worried. I need to call my brother to let him know where
Call
I am.
Paulie.
Yeah.
He's like, well, why? I'll call Paulie for you. I don't got a phone, but I'll call. And he opens the window and just yells out the window.
Hey, Paul, your sister's with me.
Yeah.
I did laugh at his explanation of why he doesn't have a phone, where he's like, people will call. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I get, but
So she doesn't feel comfortable. So he starts getting up, and she says, "I don't know you well enough to be in your apartment alone. I've never been in an apartment alone with a man before." He's like, yeah, "But you're uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable too." I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
seem uncomfortable. She
Kinda.
seems like she's worried about she's about to get raped.
Kind of
Yep.
weird.
it gets worse, though.
Yep. He doesn't want her to go. She starts backing towards the door, and then he
He
stops her
literally-
from opening the door, and he literally corners her.
Yeah.
Yep.
A little rough.
And
This won the awards.
then he takes her glasses off, tells her she's got beautiful eyes,
Now
and,
you're beautiful. Now that
Yeah.
you don't have glasses.
and he takes her hat off, and he says she's pretty,
Mhm.
and she says not to tease her.
Don't
'Cause-
tease me, Rock.
Exactly.
Don't tease me, Rock.
She has no
Self-esteem.
confidence,
Yeah.
self-esteem. Yep.
So he's gonna force it out of her.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So then he says, "I'm going to kiss you now," and he kisses her on the.
You
he
go
said-
kiss me back, but I'm
Exactly,
going to kiss you.
Yeah.
Also
So he
not
kiss-
okay, Rock.
No,
what are you
no.
doing?
Kisses her on the cheek, and then he backs up, and then he goes into kiss again, and she kisses him back this time.
She does
And
get into it very quickly, but it's
Then they sink to the floor.
Yep.
This I always thought was very awkward. I'm like, why? Like,
They gotta end the scene somehow. It's like when two people start having sex in a movie and they roll off the bed for no reason,
yeah,
just so they can get to the next scene.
yeah.
That's what it is.
But it's such an awkward slide down to the floor.
It's very odd.
sometimes your legs get tired. You gotta sit down.
Sometimes when you're making out, get tired legs.
The next day, Rocky goes to the gym. Mick is looking for him, so he goes inside, and Mick gives him Apollo's card. And he tells him, yeah, they're probably looking for sparring partners for Apollo. Or the promoter's card. And Rocky takes the card and he looks at it and goes, oh, yeah, they're probably looking for sparring partners for Apollo. And Mick goes, I just fucking said that.
The penguin.
And they get into it because Mick is like, you wasted your talent. You had all this talent. You just, but you fight like a bum. You became a tough guy. You break people's knees, that kind of thing.
You're working with the mob guy
Yeah.
or the bookie, and that's lame.
Yeah.
Which that would be.
I mean, that's probably how, like, it was either, yeah.
But I don't know. I always thought that Mick was like the guy you root for. Not in this movie.
He has to apologize.
He's the hard as nails son of a bitch who's like, I'm not going to give you the time of day because you don't want it.
Yeah, I guess.
So then Rocky goes to meet the promoter, thinking that, they just want a sparring partner for Apollo. And he cuts off the promoter. He's like, yeah, it would be an honor to spar with Apollo. He's the champ. It would be great. And the promoter's like, no. Like, we want you to be in the fight. Now, I love this. He immediately says no. I love that. Just for the sheer fact that he's like, no. Like,
I'm not good enough.
Yeah, this guy is way out of my class. It's
Yeah.
not going to be a good fight. It's going to be a waste of everybody's time. No.
Do you just want to spar
Yeah.
partner?
The reason I love it so much is because it shows that he's self-aware, but he's also super, like, vulnerable. He's like, he knows that he's not a great boxer.
He hasn't been trained properly by
by Mick.
by Mick yet.
Yeah.
He doesn't. And he's always getting shit on by everybody.
And we do find out later that he's got like 20 losses. He's not like it's,
Yeah, right.
It's not like he's undiscovered or whatever.
Right. He doesn't have Adrian yet.
That's true.
The promoter sells it
does.
real hard to him, though. So the scene cuts away before we get an answer, and we go to Apollo on TV again. Rocky is watching with Adrian and Paulie at their house. And then all of a sudden, Rocky comes out on the screen, so he must have accepted. There's some cheap shots thrown Rocky's way by reporters and other people on TV.
Yeah, he's getting made fun of for being an idiot.
He's just kind of like the dumb guy, but I do like he gives a shout out to his girlfriend Adrian, who he's gone on one date with.
Yeah, but then they
Then
did
they-
it. Then they sat on the floor together.
They
sat on the
made
floor.
out on the
It's
cold
real.
floor.
So immediately, Paulie tries to weasel into helping Rocky. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna need like a guy to hold your towel, and like I can do that for you." He gets pissed and then super loud. So Rocky and Adrian walk outside. Gazzo, he meets up with Gazzo and he gives him $500 for training expenses.
Yeah, it's a nice guy.
Before
Nice bookie.
before he leaves Adrian's place, it does seem like he knows again, like he's got that vulnerable, like this is probably
gonna
not
get
going to go.
crushed.
Yeah, this isn't going to go well. He meets Gazzo, gives him the money for the training expenses. Then he's at home. Mickey shows up to Rocky's place, and he basically starts talking about management, how he's got so much experience, but when he was coming up, he didn't have any management. That's why he never made it, and he really selling hard the management thing. And Rocky's like giving him no time of day because Mick just kicked him out of his locker.
Yep.
He didn't want to help
Called him a
him.
bum.
Yeah, he didn't want to help him all those times before. Like, where were you 10 years ago when I needed you? So Mickey starts to leave. I like it. Rocky goes into the bathroom and uses the bathroom, and then Mickey goes to leave, and he forgets his hat. So like he closes the door again, and Rocky comes back out and then sees Mick still there. So he closes the door again.
Goes back to the bathroom.
Goes back in the bathroom. And then so Mickey starts walking down the stairs, and that's when Rocky starts just yelling.
Loses his mind.
Yeah. Now, it was real thick Rocky accent.
It sure was.
I didn't have my subtitles on,
Mm.
so I'm not entirely sure what he was saying.
It was more of the "you weren't ever there for me."
Yeah.
You call me
More
all
of the
these
same.
names.
Yeah, more of the
Okay.
same.
Why are you here now? Blah
yeah.
blah blah.
So Mickey finally makes it out onto the street and starts walking away. And then Rocky comes out and runs him down. We get no dialogue at this
Yeah,
point.
they have a private conversation.
And then they end the scene with them shaking hands. It's like, okay, so
They agree that they're gonna work together.
what the fuck happened, though? He immediately changed his mind. And
Well, he's been waiting for this guy to train him for 10 years. He's
Yeah.
finally got the opportunity. It's kind of like the Apollo match itself. He's like, I kind of can't say no to this.
Mhm.
Like, $150,000 just to lose? I kind of can't say no to this.
Yeah.
I have wine with bums on the side of the road. And I live with 2 turtles.
yeah.
And now I have a lady to take care of.
So I'm assuming the next morning, Rocky wakes up. It's 4 a.m.
It's too early.
He puts 5 eggs in a glass.
I actually rewound that a few times to count because I'm like, what does he do? A dozen? No, it's not enough.
It's
Oh,
5.
he does
right?
a half a dozen. I'm like, I don't think he did.
He-
Just for whatever reason in my mind, 5 is the wrong number of eggs to eat.
It is the wrong number. Yes.
Like you always eat eggs in pairs, right?
Right. It makes sense.
Have you ever drank the egg drink before?
I have drank. I've had protein powder with milk and egg, and just
Raw
as
egg. Ugh.
as a shake, and that wasn't
never
too
done it.
bad. But I can't imagine
The
that.
closest I've ever gotten to
Yeah.
this is after a trip, Dan and Mary introduced us to, I think they're Pisco Sours or something. It's a alcoholic beverage with like a raw egg frothed up on top.
Oh,
It wasn't very good,
Okay.
but I tried it.
yeah.
But never just straight egg like that.
5
Absolutely
eggs
not.
straight in a glass and drinks it whole. Yep, just chugs it, and there's no way to fake this scene. He literally chugged 5.
I mean,
eggs
he's chugging
straight.
it quickly enough that it's like dripping down his shirt. I
Yeah.
assume just because like I
Yeah.
gotta get this over with.
because it's fucking gross.
I don't know why cooking it would make it worse, but
And then he runs in the ice cold Philadelphia
Yep, goes for a jog through the streets of Philly.
and
Struggles to run up those
can't-
rocky hills.
Yeah, he can't really do
Hit
the
the
Rocky
stairs.
run yet, but
which as someone
also
who
like
recently tried to start running for the first time in a while,
Yeah.
I get the struggle, Rocky.
I also got like how sometimes you get like the heebie-jeebies when you watch somebody like drink the eggs.
Yeah.
Also got it when he put the Converse on and started running with those things. Like your ankles are gonna die.
That hurt my shins. That hurt my shins
Why are
just
you
watching
running
it.
like that?
Yeah.
Windows. Oh my god.
So
Any other shoe would be better.
he reaches the top of the rocky steps, but like barely before he turns around and walks away. Then he meets Mickey. No, he doesn't meet Mickey. He meets Paulie at Paulie's job in the butcher shop, the
Yeah,
refrigeration,
the meat freezer.
meat freezer. They talk about Adrian and him, and Paulie is like, "You been with my sister?" It's like, Jesus Christ, you wanted me to go with your sister.
Yeah, right. We all knew what was gonna
Yeah.
happen here.
So they get in a little bit of an argument.
Did you force yourself on my sister? Did you trap her in a corner? Did you sit on the floor with her?
Did you fall to the floor making out with her?
So Paulie punches some of the frozen meat, and it barely moves. So Rocky comes over, he like stares at Paulie and just starts pounding on the meat.
Pound that meat, Rocky.
Jesus Christ.
Pounded, he did. Right in front of Paulie.
So he gets a little bit of a workout there, and then he goes to see Adrian, and she tries to kiss him, but he says no fooling around while he's in training, and so she tries to kiss him again, and he's like, "No, I'm serious." He's like, "Oh, Okay.
Which this is a trope that's in sports, but we haven't seen it in a lot of our movies.
Right. Yeah.
But this is definitely one
This
of
is
the sports
definitely a
tropes.
thing. Yeah, this is definitely a thing.
Then he goes to training at the gym and he's working on the heavy bag. Mickey stops him and he ties some string around his ankles to get his footwork going right.
Yeah,
And
again,
then we
something
get-
probably 10 years ago would have helped him more.
Yeah. And
Also, like, that's the only thing that he needed to fix. Just tie his fucking shoelaces together, and now he's a champ.
and then we get the great line of "Women weaken legs," which he already knew because he already was
Clearly.
Yeah,
planning on that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we can't fool around.
So then Rocky goes home. Adrian is waiting for him at his place, and she gives him the giant dog from the pet store named Butkus.
Buckus, right? Yes.
Big old dog.
Which is Stallone's actual dog.
Yep.
In the credits, it says it.
He
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
he sold Butkus for $40 when he was still like trying to write the movie and stuff like that. And then after the movie got big, he bought him back for like $10,000
Oh my god.
because he wanted that dog so
That's
bad.
a terrible investment.
Yeah,
That's so sad.
yeah.
Sell my dog for $40.
And she tells him he's got. She bought him the dog so he has somebody to run with.
Which this does not look like a running dog.
No, it
No,
doesn't.
it's
Like
This
Yeah.
dog will get
Greyhound.
tired at the end of the
Yeah.
block.
Like this would be the dog I would run with, so I could go like, "Oh, you're out of breath?
me too.
Okay, I'll go home. For your sake, I'm gonna bring you home."
So the two of them, him and Butkus, the next time they go running, they go to punch the frozen meat at Paulie's, where Paulie works, and they see a news van outside. He's like, "All right, that's weird. Who are these people?" And he goes in, and then they come back out, him and Paulie, and he yells at Paul. At no point do I know where this dog goes during this entire thing, but
That's it. Yeah.
he yells at Paulie a little bit, and then they joke around a little bit, and he goes inside and gives an interview. And before they start,
Paulie has gotten them there, right? Paulie
Yeah.
did this.
yeah, Paulie's the one who set up the interview. Before he starts the interview, Rocky goes, "Now don't take any cheap shots at me." He does not trust reporters at all.
Yeah.
The lady's like, "No, of course not." So he gives the interview.
Which it's like, what are you doing here? Well, punch the meat. Since I'm fighting for the title, owner doesn't mind. And like, why do you punch meat? Well, I did it one time and I liked it, so I do it.
Brilliant.
Also, I have a girlfriend.
Brilliant.
So Apollo's trainer is now watching the interview.
I love this part
Yeah, this is good.
where Apollo's like, send the mayor's wife 20 roses, and he's
Yeah.
like doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
And the actual trainer who becomes like Rocky's buddy in the
Yeah.
other movies.
He,
Oh,
he trains him
spoiler.
too. Yeah,
yeah,
he
he's
trains
like
him in other
he's
movies,
watching
too.
this thing like, oh no, you're not ready for this.
He's like, "That's a problem."
He's like, hey,
Yeah.
champ, this guy actually is a boxer.
He's really gonna go for you.
Well, I wouldn't say he's a boxer, but he thinks this is a fight, so he
Yeah.
might want to come
Yeah.
over and take a
You
look.
might
at
want to
this.
actually get your shit together here.
Yeah. Apollo ignores him though, and then we see Paulie walking down the street. He's got a Christmas wreath with him, and he's drunk as a skunk. He walks in the house, and Rocky and Adrian are talking about Paulie like wanting to work for Gazzo, and he's like, I can't do that.
yeah.
Like, and then Paulie overhears him, and he gets super mad. He grabs a baseball bat and starts smashing stuff.
I can appreciate the cutting off your nose to spite your face here.
Yeah.
Where he's smashing up his own house to show these other two that he means it.
Yep.
Breaking pictures of his own family.
Yep.
Yeah.
His own tea set. He kicks Rocky out, yells at them both, starts smashing the place up with his baseball bat. Adrian then grabs him and starts yelling at him, "I take care of you. I cook for you. I clean for you. I do everything for you." He's like, "You're supposed to be nice to me." He's so fucking
What a
pathetic.
piece of
is.
shit.
He is so pathetic is the right word.
Because he then goes, you're busted," and he says something else like she's
She's been scarred because
yeah,
she hooked
'cause
up
she-
with Rocky.
Yeah. So she runs away, and Rocky grabs him. He's about to beat the shit out of him, and he looks at Paulie, and Paulie's just like, I'm so dead. He looks so pathetic. He's like, all right, well,
It's not even worth it.
it's not. So then Rocky goes to Adrian's room, and she's sitting on her bed, and she goes, "You want a roommate?" He's like, "Yeah, I do."
Oh, yeah, I do.
You want a roommate? Yeah.
And we go, Mickey is training Rocky. We get the, "You're going to eat lightning and crap thunder." Fucking love that line, too. Shoot, where'd I go?
You got lost here?
You got
got
lost?
lost.
You crapped some thunder?
Oh, there we are. Paulie wants to advertise for Rocky, and Rocky's like, all right, if you know something about advertising, do whatever you want. Fine, whatever.
I know about marketing. How?
No, you don't.
How? You literally just bagging up meat all day.
And then we get the Gonna Fly Now montage where Rocky's jogging through Philly and training. He's doing those one-arm push-ups.
When the scene where he is running with a brick in each hand,
Yeah.
I thought like I want to do that, and then I immediately thought like I couldn't do that.
That's
My arms would be tired in one block.
so
You
rough.
have to work up to that, Bill. You got to do the first run first.
Okay,
And then the second run,
Okay.
you have the bricks.
The
in
other
your hand.
option is I
You
could
need
get
a
couple
montage.
shake weights maybe. And roll
Yeah, a
those.
couple shake weight. You need a montage, Bill. That's the problem.
Jerking
Someone-
the shake weights
you,
off.
You do stuff, Murray. Make me a montage.
A montage for you?
Yeah.
I'll make one for you.
Yes.
Gonna need a montage. So we get the iconic shot of him holding his hands up at the top of the Rocky steps. And then it's the night before the fight, and Rocky's awake. He goes down to the ring, and he's in the middle of the ring in the middle of the night. He's just seeing how big this all is going to be. He sees himself on, like, he sees his big poster. The promoter's there, and he's like, "Hey, you got my shorts wrong." And the promoter's like, "It fucking doesn't matter. Like, you're
You're gonna get beat. We don't care.
and you're gonna give us a good show. Like, it doesn't matter." So Rocky goes home and he sits on the bed, and this is another great Rocky moment. He says, "I can't do it. I can't beat Apollo.
Self-doubt.
Like, I don't. I know I can't. The only thing I want to do is I just want to go the distance. Nobody's ever taken him the distance. I want to go the distance. That way I can say I'm not just another bum from the neighborhood." And like, I love. It seems like he's got so much more character in this movie than in the later movies. And I haven't seen the later movies in a long time, but it feels like there's so much more to Rocky in this movie than there is in the other
He's
ones.
we don't, like the other movies, the way they end are like 35 minutes of fight.
Yeah.
Like we really do a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
And almost, we don't give a fuck about, like we already know who
It's-
Rocky is.
yeah,
We don't need to know.
45 a montage. Well, no, it's
He
like
needs to train.
It's
He needs to
25
lose.
a montage.
He needs to lose. He needs to train. He needs to win the fucking title back. Or whatever.
Yeah. And the 25 of montage, 45 minutes of that last fight. That's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
most Rocky movies are. But
they-
this one, this
it
is
link-
all like
spends a lot of
character
time-
development.
Yeah.
And then there's only like 10 minutes of fight.
It's
Yeah.
very
and then
short.
there's only the other one fight, and that's like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So he doesn't want to be another bum from the neighborhood. Next scene, we go to pre-fight stuff in the locker room. Rocky's prays at the sink. And then Adrian wishes him luck, but she's going to stay in the locker room. She can't watch, which she does in pretty much all of them. She might watch one of them on the TV. I think she watches Rocky. No, she doesn't even watch Rocky 4 on the TV because
She's
the son is there watching with his friends.
Yeah.
But all right, anyways, Rocky comes out in an awesome robe, which is, I think it's an awesome robe.
It's too big. It's too big.
A little
Too
too big, but like it's an awesome robe. And on the back it says, "What's Shamrock's
Shamrock's
refrigeration?
meat packing or
Meat
something.
packing, yeah,
Yeah.
incorporated."
It's an
I
advertisement.
love his
Yeah.
explanation. Somebody says like, I think Mick's like, "What the hell is this?" And he's like, "What'd you get for this?" He's like, "Boy, got $3,000. I got a robe." He's like, "Oh, good one, Rock."
Yeah. It's worth it, buddy. So as he's walking out to the ring, he sees Paulie. Paulie tries to talk to him for a little bit. He's like, I gotta go, man. Like, I gotta go. The people love him because he's a Philly guy.
Yep.
He sees Gazzo. He makes it to the ring.
Nice guy, Gazzo.
Yep.
He's just a nice guy.
And then we get Apollo's music hits, and he's coming out on a boat dressed as George Washington.
Amazing.
Like he's crossing
It's
the Delaware.
This is not
It's a
peak.
good build, though.
Fantastic.
This is not peak
It's
Apollo.
not, but it's a good build.
Good.
It's a good first step.
Good start.
He gets to the ring, and he changes into Uncle Sam.
And then he
I want you. I
starts
want you.
Ewing everyone like Hulk
He
Hogan.
is Ewing everybody.
I do like the announcers who are like, for international viewers, this is Uncle Sam was like a recruiter for World War
They
II.
had to explain what Uncle Sam was.
And I thought, like, is this for like dumb Americans who don't know what's going on in the movie?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B, maybe.
Did he write this in because he knew like no one's gonna know what this
I have
is?
to explain Uncle Sam in 1973.
And then I do like while Rocky's watching, he was turning to Mick and he's giving him like little one-liners.
Yeah.
And then Apollo like points at him out. He's like, "I want you, Stallion. I want you." And Rocky goes, "Is he talking to me?"
Did he call him a chump? It's like, you're a chump.
Yeah,
You're a chump.
We get Smoking Joe Frazier in attendance, who says
That's
hello to
fun.
Rocky. And
This
to
is the
Apollo,
part that I was like, you've ruined it now. You've ruined a very good movie.
because you bring in a real
You
fighter.
say, I can find no one in Philadelphia to take a match, and then you bring out a
Yeah.
Philadelphia champion boxer.
Except he probably like it's the 5-week time frame. That's I think the way they're.
But they
gonna
didn't
get
even
around it.
mention him earlier, and then they
Yeah.
bring him out. And he says,
Was he
you're
retired? though?
ducking me. So in real
Oh.
life, he had just retired.
Okay.
Like in 1976, he has a rematch against George Foreman, who had taken the belt from him years before.
right.
And it's a good fight, but basically he gets battered by George Foreman a second time,
Okay.
and then retires like at the end of the night,
Okay.
or the end, like shortly thereafter or whatever. And so he's like recently retired at this point.
But then he wants to fight Creed.
And he
You're
says,
ducking me.
but they both say like, "You're ducking me,"
Yeah.
and Creed's like, "You're next." Well, if you're gonna fight him next anyways, why didn't you just set up a mega fight with Joe Frazier?
Because he didn't want to waste this January 1st fight.
I guess
He needed somebody to fight, but
Oh, man.
anyways, so Smoker Joe comes out. He says hello to Rocky. Says hello to Apollo. They get the pre-fight talk from the ref in the middle of the ring, and then go back to their corners. The bell rings, and Apollo comes out. He just starts jabbing with that left, just bunch of left jabs straight to Rocky's face,
Rocky blocks nothing, not one
right
punch.
with his face. That's how he blocks things.
Yep.
Not much to hurt up there. It's all rock up there. So Rocky's just kind of standing tough in the center of the ring. Not really. He's not quick like Apollo. Apollo moves on his feet. He's just kind of like a statue. He's
Apollo's
flat-footed.
dancing, and he's
Yeah.
just standing.
Apollo takes a big swing and misses, and Rocky hits him with an uppercut, knocks him flat on his ass.
Yep, first round knockdown.
Yep.
And Creed hasn't
count.
been knocked down in forever.
Yeah. And it's a knockdown for an 8 count. Like
Yep.
he gets up and it's at number 8 when he's like,
Yeah,
"All
they
right,
might
I'm
say
good to
he's
go."
never been knocked down before or something
Yeah.
like that.
Maybe never at all, yeah.
Yeah.
Apollo then starts keeping him at bay with some jabs and then gets him in the corner and really starts lighting him up. Rocky starts fighting back and is getting some body blows in, and the bell rings just as Apollo breaks Rocky's nose.
We say during training and stuff, they say several times like no one works the body like Rocky.
Yeah.
Rocky's just got to keep hitting him in the ribs, basically.
Rocky's nose finally breaks.
Yep.
Yep.
Which there's a good line too when he's like, "Your nose is broken," or he's like, "Your nose is broken." He's like,
How's
"How's
it
it look?
look?"
It's an improvement.
Quote Mountain, maybe.
That's fantastic too. Yeah, I didn't hear that one. So Mick tells him to go for the ribs. Don't let Apollo breathe. Creed's trainer tells him Rocky thinks this is an actual fight, so you have to finish him quick.
He don't know this is a show. He thinks
Yeah.
it's a fight.
So Creed comes out and he does that. He's on fire. He's lighting Rocky up real hard, and then Rocky ties him up. And then Rocky gets fired up, and he starts landing some big blows of his own. Then we get a montage of the fight with Rocky taking most of the hits. But when he hits Apollo, it's like they're just vicious blows.
Which is the way they built it up this whole match is Rocky's not as good a fighter, but he can hit.
Yeah.
If he
hits
lands
hard.
it, he hits hard.
The Rock.
His face is all bruised and bloody, but he's getting Apollo good too. Apollo's got some shiners on him, but he's not like as bad as what Rocky looks like.
Describe Rocky again.
Oh boy.
Like,
That might be probably.
That's
that might be cut. So the music is starting to get louder. It's getting towards the end of the match. It's getting more triumphant, and then Apollo knocks Rocky to the ground again. He's near his corner enough that Mickey's like, "Stay down, stay down."
Yeah, you've proven yourself enough.
But Rocky gets up.
Of course, he does not. Yeah.
He does. He gets up again, and Apollo just like looks over it. He's been bouncing up and down
He
with
thinks
his
he
arms
won.
in his air.
Yeah.
He sees Rocky start to get up. He just looks at him and he just kind of shakes his head. He's like, "All right."
The announcers do a good job too, of going like,
Yeah.
Creed can't believe he's back on his feet.
Yeah. Rocky's staying in his corner, kind of like a cornered animal. Like he's like vicious. He's not gonna like you know if you come at him, he's gonna fight back hard. And he lands a real hard gut shot right before the end of the round.
The 14th round, I
Yep,
believe.
at the end of the 14th. Yep. Rocky then has Mick cut his eye open because he can't see.
Cut me, Mick.
Cut me.
And then Apollo has some internal bleeding from
Yeah, he's spitting up blood, and his corner guy's like, I'm going to stop this.
yeah. And Apollo tells him, "You don't stop this."
They
and
both
Rocky-
of them
Yeah.
are like, I will kill you if you stop this fight.
Apollo's then really favoring his right side. He's keeping that right hand really tucked in there, watching his ribs, because that's the side that Rocky really hurt. So he's basically just fighting with jabs and a little bit of left hooks, but he's trying to keep him at bay for the most part. Rocky's then starts to get a lot of body blows in, a lot of body shots. He's finally in control of the fight. He start punching, getting Creed in the face, nailing him with some face shots, and then the bell rings. They tie up, they hug each other, and we get real clearly Apollo saying, "Won't be no rematch. There ain't gonna be a rematch." And then Rocky says, "I don't want one."
That might be my best. That might be
Yeah.
my favorite line is, ain't going to be no rematch. Don't want one.
Yeah. So they're standing in the ring. The ring gets filled up as you see with all big boxing matches. They get filled up real quick with interviewers, with people. Rocky's getting interviewed, and all he does, he's not paying attention. He just starts yelling at Adrian. Adrian! Adrian! She starts fighting her way through the crowd. Paulie tries to get in the ring, and the police officer stops him. And Adrian's right behind him, so he helps sneak her into the ring. We hear Creed is announced the winner by decision, and Adrian walks up to him and tells Rocky that she loves him, and he tells her he loves her too, and that's the way the movie ends.
Nice ending.
Yeah. They've been dating for about 5 weeks.
Yep.
The whole training.
Yeah. So.
But they've moved in together already.
Yeah.
They roommates. They love each other.
Yep.
Oh man. All right. That's it.
That's it.
It's time for Quote Mountain.
Yeah. You guys got anything?
I got some nominees.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one is
There's a lot of nominees.
there won't be no rematch. Don't
Yeah.
want one.
That's a great one. I mean, Adrian, obviously.
Eat Lightning and Crap Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your nose is broken. How's it look? It's an improvement.
And then improvement.
Why do you want to fight? Because I can't sing or dance.
Yeah.
This is not one, but I like this part where he's like, I've been going for 6 years. In 6 years you've been sticking it to me. Why? I don't want to know how come. Yeah, you want to know? I want to know. You want to know? I want to know. Okay, I'll tell you. That whole part. Adrian, Einstein flunked out of school twice.
Yeah.
Is that so? Yeah, Beethoven was deaf. Helen Keller was blind. Rocky's got a good chance. That's a good one. But it's probably just Yo Adrian, right?
Yo, Adrian. I mean, that
Probably
is the
just
most
Yo
memorable
Adrian.
thing.
Adrian.
It's the most memorable line.
I do like. I don't
if it's
remember
best
the
line.
exact quote, but when somebody asked him, like, "Hey, man, what'd you come up with the Italian standards? You did it one night." Oh, okay.
Great.
I think the most memorable is probably Adrian,
Yo, Adrian.
but the I don't want no rematch, or there ain't gonna be no rematch. I don't want one. It's so good because it sets up the second movie.
That's true.
How about Paulie? I want you out of here instamatically. Paulie becomes. He's really rough in this movie, but he becomes one of my favorites.
There's another line by Mick, but I can't remember what it was.
Women weaken legs. That thing.
Oh, women weaken the legs. That was a good one.
You need a manager.
What was the other? I love Rocky just in the ring. Is he talking to me? Like, Mick, is he talking to me? I don't know.
I think we make a real sharp couple of coconuts.
He also says,
I'm dumb, you're shy. What do you think, huh?
he also says when he's in the ring and Apollo comes out, he goes, "This looks like a big flag." That's also kind of fun.
What do we want to go with? We want to go with
Probably either the end of the fight or Yo Adrian, I would think.
Yeah.
Let's go with the end of the fight. That's the better
End of the fight?
quote.
Okay.
Yo Adrian's not that interesting. I mean, just famous.
Won't be no rematch.
Don't want one.
Don't want one.
I forgot about this one. This when he's talking to the girl. Don't smoke that. It makes your breath like garbage. Maybe I like garbage.
Nobody likes garbage. Who's our MVP?
Oh, come on.
It's Apollo.
Is it?
No.
In this one?
Maybe not in this one.
It might be Rocky.
It's probably got to be Rocky for this one.
Apollo's not in it enough.
Yeah.
Is
Apollo's
it
great
is
every
it
minute he's on screen.
Gazzo? What's his name?
Gazzo,
nice
yeah.
guy?
Nice guy bookie.
Nice guy Bookie? I think it's probably Rocky.
Oh God, why am I? I'm literally
It's
writing.
definitely not Paulie or Adrian.
It's not. No.
The only contender
But I
is...
didn't like Mickey as much as I thought I would.
No, he's not great in this.
Yeah. Mickey's best movie
fun
is
in it.
It's
probably
Apollo or Rocky
3.
for sure. I guess probably Rocky.
Mickey's best movie is 3, the one where he dies. Like that's
Probably.
that's
Wow.
the best one for him.
Cold blooded.
Well, no, because like he's real good in that one.
Okay. All right, so we're going with Rock.
But does he die in? No, his best one might be second movie, and then
He
he
dies
dies
in the
early.
third. He dies early in the third.
Early in the third, so yeah. So it's probably his second movie. So yeah, probably Rocky. Just Rocky.
Okay.
All right. How
Final
about,
verdict?
Yeah. What are we giving it?
Ooh.
There's some problems in here,
It
but it's
wasn't-
good.
Yeah.
It was good, but yes, it was problematic.
I'm going to say 7.5.
I think that's too low.
I do think that's too low.
Okay. I think it's good, but I think there's a couple problems in there. It's a good movie.
Like,
Do you
if
wanna
there
give it
were
an 8?
not the problems, this would be for sure probably the best movie that we watched.
Okay, fine. I'll bump it to an 8.
That's a big bump.
That is a big bump.
It's a half. It's not that big of a bump. All right.
Bill, what are you
Upper 7, low 8s. I'm thinking I'll go with a flat 8.
What?
gonna?
It's a good movie.
I was also thinking a flat 8.
You can do it. You have the power now to not do math.
No, because you have 7.
You know what? No.
No, I bumped it to an 8.
I'm gonna give it. Hold on.
I bumped it to an 8. You can't. Don't.
I'm gonna give it
do
an
it here?
8. I'm gonna give
All right.
it.
All right.
8 across the board. We never agreed like that. You want to make it
I
higher.
was thinking 7, 8, 7, 9, but I think 8's probably about right.
I'm gonna give it an 8. Yeah.
Okay. Where does that put it?
That
I picked
ties
up
it.
high.
That ties it exactly with A League of Their Own. And
Whew.
it is tied for third, I think. Let's see. Sandlot's 8.5.
It's not as good as Sandlot.
No,
Remember
I'll
the-
stick with that.
Remember the Titans 8.2,
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that still.
and then A League of Their Own 8.0.
Because I will say, it's as we talked about it, usually, like, as we're discussing, I feel better or worse than I thought going in.
Mm-hmm.
This pumped it up for me. As I was watching it, I enjoyed it, but not as much as I thought I was gonna.
Yeah, because 7.9 is the Big Lebowski. This is way better than the Big Lebowski. 7.9
this
is
is better
very
than Big
generous
Lebowski.
for the Big Lebowski.
This is better than Lebowski.
Like,
You don't seem to agree. With that.
Yeah, you know, it's. I'm
Where's
the
Cool
reason.
Runnings again?
I'm the reason Lebowski's so high. I think I
You
gave
are
it a
the
huge
reason
rating.
Lebowski's so high.
So
cool. You want to know Cool Runnings?
Yeah.
that was a high movie for us.
7.6.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was a good movie.
Big Lebowski's probably 7.6.
Well, we're gonna do our episode where we re-rank.
I have ideas about how to do that too, but
Okay,
we got some time.
We got
before
some.
We, get there.
We got a few episodes. We got about 20 episodes before we get there.
Yeah, we got 14.
14
Yeah,
episodes
because
before
this
we
was
get there.
episode 36.
Okay.
So, we
All
were
right.
talking beforehand. Do we want who's
Bill is up.
I'm
Bill
all
is up. He
we
said
can
he was.
spin it, or I'm okay with jumping right in if we want to keep the Rocky train rolling.
I think it's a good idea to keep the Rocky train rolling for at least the first 4.
Definitely the first 4. We'll see maybe the 5th if we're sick of the 5th.
fits in there, but also in 4 weeks I might want to watch anything besides Rocky.
I feel like we do 4 and then we return to Rocky at a later time. But if you do I think the first 4 in a row is going to be fun to.
I think
to
that
watch
works
together.
out well because there's 9 total?
Something, and there's the creeds.
Exactly, including the creeds. There's 9 total. So I think there's the first 4. Really, we should add the 5th.
Yeah, but
But
the 5th is
the
rough.
5th is so bad that we could add.
And there's
we
Tommy
could do,
Gunn.
We could
What are
go
you
back
talking
to it and
Balboa.
do 5th and then Balboa and then do
How
the
many
3
creeds are there now?
creeds. 3.
3 creeds, and then there's like
There's
a
3
Rocky
creeds.
7 now too, isn't there?
Not that I know.
Isn't
of.
there like another Rocky?
By the way, I did spin the wheel just in case.
Uh-huh.
It did get hockey. I don't know if that
Ooh.
changes your decision,
Oh,
but
my
There is
God.
a very good hockey movie.
Oh
we can
my
watch
God.
right now. Yes, on Netflix.
yes. So I'm just putting it out there.
But we talked about it. I want to watch it, but no, we'll stick with Rocky.
How about this? Let's see. You're gonna have the second 3, and I'm gonna have 4.
Yeah.
When it comes back around to you, we'll go to the. We'll just do hockey.
We'll just do that movie.
Yeah, we'll just do hockey. We won't spin it again
Okay.
I think that's a good movie for you to do. So yeah.
There will come
because I've never
point-
seen it, and I really want to see that movie.
We're not there yet,
yeah.
but I'm thinking after the 50 or whatever, I may just ask you to stop spinning a wheel because
Yeah,
at
we
some
gotta
point
start.
there are specific sports movies that we should be watching for a sports movie podcast that we have not watched yet.
You mean like
We got a long
Kicking
way to
and
go.
Screaming?
That's one, I guess. That's not what I had in mind.
Kicking and Screaming with Mike Ditka.
Or
But like how there's a football movie
shit.
we haven't watched that we should have watched. There's a baseball movie we still haven't watched. Ryan. There's a golf movie we got to watch.
Several.
There's a couple of basketball
What's the
movies we should have watched.
football one.
There's several
I don't
baseball
know
movies.
to tell you till we get to that point.
There's like
'Cause I
there's
only
at
have
least
Invincible. So
there's at least 3
Oh, Invincible. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of that.
there's at least 3 baseball movies we haven't watched for this show
yeah,
Yeah,
I got
that
to
are big in the canon.
That's true.
I really need to go back and
We do have to get Mighty Ducks 3 at some point.
I'd like Mighty Ducks 3.
It's enough. Yeah.
I mean, we did the first 2. We got to do the last one.
We got to complete the circle.
So
All right.
That's going to be 8:28.
But there's
when we do this.
some classic sports movies that at some point we have to touch on. Rocky is a good example of one.
Yeah.
So
Well, we're gonna do it right now. We're gonna go right to Rocky 2,
Yep.
Mhm.
and you're gonna do it, Bill.
I am going to do it.
Okay.
Thank you for listening. Even though, why would you?
Thank you, one listener.
We have more than one.
I mean,
I
I,
don't know
guess
if
that
they all
makes 2
make
of
it
us.
to the end.
I think we have 2 official
We have
listeners
two,
now, including
two
myself.
full listeners.
There's more than
Including
2. They
myself.
don't make it to the end though. usually. 2 people make it to
Two
the end.
two people for sure make it to the end.
You need to do like a
And
prize giveaway
you-
if you get it to the end. You
Ooh,
can,
I'm in. Let's do it.
get a prize.